Shabbat Shalom. You and I, we've been through a lot together these past few weeks. A lot. This world. But now, like Moses, I and Neil must leave you as you continue on the journey of Shabbat services this summer. Now, unlike Moses, we're not leaving. No one's leaving. Neil is still here, finishing his chaplaincy residency at Methodist. You know, he's been doing that the whole time. He's been doing this. He's been a chaplain over at Methodist. And after that, he goes back to school. I bought a house on my own, and I'm taking the time to brag about that because I'm very proud of myself. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. But you don't realize, that means I have to pack. I have to pack everything. And yes, in Houston, down the street from where I'm renting. So I could carry it down the street. But I have to pack, which is awful. And I have to move, which is annoying. And all of that with a toddler. So I'm going to take my summer vacation for the next few weeks to do all of that. Which means that we, the second string, the kids, the upstarts, are leaving you, but in very capable hands. By that I mean the more senior rabbis. And the incoming cantor Rachel Goldman, who I am very excited to share this bima with when I return in just a few weeks. See now, these past few weeks, thought I was being pestered. The past few weeks, I have been what I like to call last rabbi standing, the only rabbi on duty. The one here to, I couldn't help myself, hold down the fort. Thank you. I'm here all week. I know, it's terrible. Now, it can get a little stressful sometimes. I know, it seems like it's quiet down here, but actually we're humming like a very busy beehive. We're preparing for high holidays already, next year's programs. We got some great stuff planned, old favorites, new ideas. It's going to be a great year. And we're planning all of that. So back behind closed doors, there's no AC, but we are busy. Plus, when you're last rabbi standing, all the life cycles fall on you. Now, I love doing every single life cycle event. I love it. It is the high point of this job. But when you're the only one here and every single one falls on you, it can get a little hectic. So let me walk you through. This is literally a day in my life this past week. This is a real thing. In the morning, I drop my son off at camp. I drive very far away to officiate at a bris. Now, brises have a sense of urgency to them because once the mohel starts the process, it just keeps going until it's done. There's no dilly-dallying with brises. And everybody's nervous, obviously. And so it's very easy for brises just to feel very rushed. But when I take over after the snipping is done, I always try to slow things down. I do a blessing for the parents, a blessing for the grandparents. The older sibling, I always have the older sibling help me with motzi because, I don't know the words. And they have to help me. It's a very important job. We can't eat until there's motzi. It also helps to include these older siblings who sometimes get lost in the muddle. And all of this is just to give everyone a moment to take a breath and appreciate the enormity of this occasion. This little baby boy just entered into covenant with God and the Jewish people, like Jewish men for thousands of years have done before him. That's huge. It's a blessing. I get back in the car, I drive all the way back here. I get back to the office, work. I pick my kid up from camp, drop him off with the nanny. I'm feeling very rushed. I'm back in the office again. Bat mitzvah meeting. This is speech meeting. I love doing these too. Some kids, it is like pulling eye teeth to get them to talk to me. And it's a challenge to get to find what inspires them in their parsha, what sparks for them, what's interesting to them. This kid was not one of those. No. This kid had opinions. Her feelings on the parsha, her own ideas, it was exciting to talk to her. Now these meetings, they're not short, 60 to 90 minutes, but they always feel really rushed. Kid has somewhere they have to go after, the parents are blowing up their phone. Where are you? Are you done yet? Where am I meeting you? And so while she's writing down a brilliant idea, really, it was so exciting to talk to her, I just took a minute to marvel and revel in how much fun it was to really talk Torah with a 13-year-old. And what a blessing that is for me and my job. Towards the end of that meeting, we get a call, the front desk. Someone is dying. And can the rabbi come do vidui? Say the words, the final prayers that Judaism gives us for when someone's dying. And the answer, of course, is yes, of course. So I tell this poor kid, I basically write my email on a Post-it, throw it at her, say, send me a draft, and I'm off. And I'm running to my car. And I go into my car, and I drive very far, very, very far, actually. I sit in that good old Houston rush hour traffic, contemplating all the life choices I made to lead me to that moment, and I worry. I'm gripping the wheel, and I'm worried, because the thing is, when you do vidui, it's Jewish last rites, so to speak, done at the very end of life, and you want to make it in time. One time, I was 20 minutes late. 20 minutes too late. Still eats me up. So I'm sitting in traffic, and I'm worrying, and I'm gripping the wheel, and I'm getting more anxious, and I get there, I arrive, I park the car, and I feel the impulse. I feel it inside me saying, go, go, Sarah, go, 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 you gotta go, rush, 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 go, go, go. But what I do is I sit. I sit for just a moment, and I breathe like a little dork, and I go over the words of vidui. The words of vidui are very powerful. You really are ushering in this person through the final stage of life. And it doesn't matter if I have to do it multiple times a week, like I did this week, but any opportunity to sit with a person, to sit with a family going through something so raw, to be with them in that moment, it's a privilege for me. It's such a blessing. And I took just a tiny moment in my car to remember that. And I put on my blazer, and I went inside. That was one day, and it was a very long day this week. And I could have just rushed through it, gotten everything done I needed to get done sufficiently, efficiently, a little mindlessly. And to be very honest, many days I do. But don't we all? There's so many moving parts to all our lives, and the world seems like it's spinning faster and faster. How are there enough hours in a day? But sometimes we get so very caught up. We just don't see all the blessings. That's Bilam's problem in the Torah this week. He is a man on a mission, very different from my mission most days, because his mission is to curse the Jews at the behest of the king. King Balak says he has to curse the Jews. It's a very famous little story in the Torah. He's riding on his donkey. He's on his way to go curse the Jews, ancient times. And suddenly, a messenger of God with a fiery sword comes and blocks his path. His donkey, being a reasonable animal and not wanting to be run through with a fiery sword, refuses to move. So Bilam beats her with a stick. Why? Didn't see her. Didn't see anything. Vayiga Adonai et einai Bilam ve'ar el mech Adonai, and then God uncovered Bilam's eyes, and he beheld the angel of God. And most of the time people interpret this story as God covered Bilam's eyes so he couldn't see the angel, and then uncovered him so then he could see what was right in front of him. But a friend of mine, a rabbi friend of mine, pointed out to me recently that that's not what actually happens in the text. God didn't trick Bilam into not seeing. God didn't punish him by not letting him see. Bilam has every ability to see what is right in front of him the whole time. He just couldn't. I think he was too busy. He had a king breathing down his neck, got to go curse the Jews. He's on this long expedition. He's riding a donkey. It's not very comfortable. He's so busy, he's busy. That he could not see the majesty of God's own angel right in front of him. Something a literal donkey could comprehend. And so I think it's a great lesson to us all that we can get so busy with the frenetic pace of our lives, all the important things that we do running from thing to thing to thing, that we miss the holiness and the blessing right in front of us, even in those things that take up every little step of our day. It has taken me years of experience to not run all the time from thing to thing to thing like a pinball in a machine. And I still do it, but less than I used to, and more than I would like. But perhaps that's the other part. We are all works in progress, working towards greater holiness, greater recognition of the blessing in our lives. May we all continue to find even greater blessing in the day-to-day parts of our lives and open our eyes just a little bit more to it each and every day. I will see you all in a few short weeks. Shabbat Shalom.